Welcome please to the JVG podcast, where these G's are gonna spread their seeds of knowledge about the league. It's flourishing with these funny catchers seem to be well read, esteemed and honest, like the man himself, Jeff Van Gundy. They are high IQ, so cerebral and funny. So if you're on the bus, just border on the dunny, listen to the
JVG NBA Tribute Show.
Hello, welcome to
Hello, Marco.
Jeff Van Gundy.
How are you?
Tribute Show, Deep 2 Podcasting Network. I'm Marco.
Hey, Marco. How are you? I'm
Good.
Lucas.
Good.
It seems that as though our tracks may have overlaid at the start there for a little bit.
Do you think that was a technical issue or a personnel issue?
Technical.
A skill issue.
I think it's like a hardware issue with one of these wires.
Right.
I've got
It's funny. It's funny that for the first time in episode 162, you're getting a live feed of the audio and hearing the audio issues in live time.
I know. That is funny.
I can't believe it took us that long.
Marco, bloody hell. Bloody can't stand the sight of each other at this point. Do you want to tell them why? We went to the Gold Coast on the weekend from Friday night until the wee hours of Tuesday morning. Well,
Yeah.
Monday night. And then, wow, I technically dropped you off at this place we're at today.
On Tuesday morning.
Not to dox you, but on this day, today,
true,
I dropped you off here today. Just 15 or so hours.
Yeah.
Or something.
And thank you for doing that, by the way.
No, pleasure. We used the. Let's go in just some random order. We're going to talk a little bit about our Gold Coast trip.
Do you? I got a proposal for you. Do you
You go
want to
first.
Do you want to give the audience just give them a brief overview of what we did, and then I'm just gonna throw things we did at you, and you're gonna. Well, I think giving them a tier grade is funnier than giving them an A to F grade.
Okay.
How does that sound?
That sounds good. So we went to the Gold Coast on the weekend. We left Melbourne on Friday night. We drove to the airport and got the value car park. We took that option of transport rather than a ride share, a taxi, the Sky Bus, a lift from someone.
All right. More brevity, because the value car park could have been one of the things I threw at you.
I know. That's why I added it. That kind of concluded Friday night. We got to the accommodation. Accommodation was on Paradise Island. Took an Uber to there. Next morning, we get up after, of course, sleeping that night, and go to the Olive Cafe, which we were two to frequent. And then that day we went to Movie World. After Movie World, we needed to have a lie down, but not before a light rail ride with an influencer.
Yep.
Who seems to be lying about everything. And then probably about 4 p.m. we got home. We probably needed a 2 or 3 hour turnaround.
Yeah.
Until the footy started, and then we just stayed in bed for a little while longer. Drinking 4X Golds, of course, which we picked up after the, let's call it the Cap Tram.
Mm-hmm.
And then got a great Nepalese dinner on Saturday night. Went to the heart of, what would you call it, bar and going out culture. Surfers Paradise.
Cavill Avenue, even.
Cavill Avenue. You got us 2 big liter steins of beer, which was the second largest beer vessel we got that night. Of course, behind the infamous Tower, which was 2.5 liters of the worst beer I've ever even tasted.
Yeah,
I've ever
it was
tasted.
Really bad.
So that concluded.
That's the most beer I've left on the table in a long time. I think.
Yeah, such a great call. We had probably nearly a pot each left, and then there would have been like a pot left in the Tower, and then you were like, let's just leave. And I was like, wow, what a great idea. Sunday, beach, unbelievable way to start. Like was that June 1 or was that June 2?
That was June 2.
Oh, it was June 2, all right. Well, not the start.
Yeah, it was June 2.
Yeah, not the start, exactly the start of winter, but the second day of winter. Getting a tan on the beach and going for a swim was pretty good. Then that evening we went to the footy, the Gold Coast Suns versus the Essendon Bombers at the People's First Stadium, brought to you by People's First Bank. Then that night, we went and got Fat Boy's Pizza and had a run-in with some middle-aged women who were on one. I don't know how else you could possibly describe them. And then that brought us to Sunday night, watched the rest of Arrival, the last half of Arrival. Great movie. And then Monday, another beach day, and up until the flight. Got some great tacos on Monday as well, and some great sushi on Monday.
Yeah, the sushi that might have been the best meal we had, I think. It was really good.
Some of the best sushi I've ever had in my life. And then flew back home, picked up the car from the Value Car Park. Ran into someone I used to work with at General Pants, Eitan. He's an actual Mavs fan. Maybe probably the only Mavs fan I know. James Demetriadis, who won't be listening.
Friend of the housemate of the pod, Zeph. He's a Mavs fan.
What?
Yeah.
I thought he was a Wolf.
No, that's Ollie.
I know that's Ollie. Jesus.
No, when the Mavs and the Wolves were playing each other, it was like a friend rivalry.
Oh, isn't that so lovely? A friend rivalry. Oh, well, shout out Zeph.
Yeah.
James Demetriadis, don't know if he's a full-on Mavs fan. He's not really a full-blown listener. He listens to the occasional episode. Johnny's been a Mavs fan since the trade deadline, I'd say. Can
I say something?
Go ahead.
There's a certain similar quality to all these guys. I don't know what it is, but
what's Zeph?
I don't know.
What's his background? Because James and Johnny are obviously Greek.
Oh, yeah.
Just shit talkers? Nah, but Zeph I feel like isn't as much of a shit talker.
They got a bit of personality, I think.
Yeah. There's a bit of flair. Yeah, the type of guys that can tolerate Kyrie Irving. What does that take us to? Oh, yeah, I ran into Eitan, got the flight home. That was good. And then picked up the car from the Value Car Park. 4 days parking, $48. Dropped you home, got back to my own place. Did I miss anything?
No. You covered most of it.
Don't be distracted by my monotone. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Well, I want this next segment to elicit the emotion out of you. Let's start with the Value Car Park. Where would you rank the Value Car Park?
Marco, man, I know. Are we going on a tier list?
Yeah.
S tier.
Yeah.
Yeah. Compared to alternatives, what a deal!
So good.
What's one way to the airport would be 50? I've paid between $50 and $65.
Yeah.
Either to or from.
And we live relatively close to the airport for Melburnians. Yeah.
Yeah. And you get to drive yourself to the airport. There's not like there's a bit more of the, what would you call it? There's less variables. There's less extraneous variables. You kind of, you're in control of everything. It's kind of nice to get off the plane and then drive yourself home. Yeah. It's also nice to get given a lift, but there's something about it that's just like, I don't know. I'm not an entire liability.
You're shaking off a little bit of the sedentary nature of being on the plane as well by like doing something.
Yeah. Then like the flight is just part of your transit.
Yeah.
And like the car is also the flight is just one portion of it. But no, it has to be S tier, especially when. Also going into it, I was like, what could be good about paying for parking, driving yourself to the airport, and then you compare it to the alternatives, which I've now said for the 10th time. And the experience alone was better than I thought, and amongst its peers, better than all of them.
Very nice.
What would you say?
Yeah. I'm not going to do my own rankings because I think it'll just cloud the issue, but I would agree.
Hang on. Should we say? Should you just be like? Oh, actually, no, never mind. I was going to say, should you like rate my? Are you like, oh, that's that's around the range I would have also done it, or are you just like general feedback? Like if I'm fully off the mark.
Yeah, I'll give you feedback.
Okay.
I was going to say my favorite part of it is both upon arrival and upon return. I was like, fuck, we're probably going to be waiting for the shuttle bus for ages. Then also being on the shuttle bus for ages. We just weren't. It was like 15 minutes max in both scenarios. Like
less
wait
than
time and drive time.
Yeah. Like, dude, 10.
Yeah. It just wasn't like a factor that I thought it might have been.
Yeah.
All right, Lucas. Well, let's stay on the topic of transport. Public transport on the Gold Coast.
Oh my God, man. Compared to Melbourne, that tram is let's not even compare it to Melbourne. That's the difference. That is how much better the tram is in the Gold Coast.
It has a lot less to contend with.
A lot less to contend with. Versus the rest of the world.
Play DeAndre Ayton here, okay?
Versus the rest of the world, let's give it a C, a C tier, B tier. Versus Melbourne, whatever's above an S tier.
Really?
For the tram.
That's crazy.
That's
disproportionate, man.
Have you been on the 86?
Yeah, that's the worst tram in the world.
Yeah, it's mine. It's connecting so many people, and so many people have to take it.
Yeah. But the problem with the 86 isn't the 86. It's that it goes on like a road that a million people drive on every day.
Okay, so maybe we shouldn't have trams on the place where there's already traffic.
Yeah. Or there just shouldn't be cars where the trams already are.
Vice versa. Either.
Exactly right.
As for the bus drivers never really seemed to be too perturbed by what was going on.
Yeah.
They were kind of just like, just get on the bus. And they were pretty frequent.
They were all the time. I don't think they were less than every 15 minutes.
Yeah,
and that would
yeah.
have been like the absolute maximum.
Yeah. Let's give the public transport a B tier.
Okay. The experience of going to like actually physically getting to people's first stadium.
Okay. Let's say D tier.
D tier. Okay.
Yeah, getting to the ground there were shuttles, but we weren't near. I think there were 3 different shuttles, and we weren't near any of them.
Despite being in Surfers Paradise, the throbbing heart and center of the Gold Coast, I would have said.
Yeah, I mean, I would have said before this trip. And then our bus stop. The amount of time we spent driving near people's first stadium and the amount of time we spent not getting off the bus and then having to either get off a stop early and walk 20 minutes or a stop after and walk 15 minutes. Really bad, really poorly set up. A lot of people went to this game. It's and even that area, there was like 20 different sporting grounds around. You probably wanted to be a bit more connected to the rest of
the bus stop was not near any of it.
Genuinely, other than Gold Coast Croatia's soccer club.
It was right across the road from Gold Coast Croatia's club rooms.
So just build another bus stop. But let's say D, and let's say Melbourne is better for this.
All right, then let's go to People's First Stadium itself.
Watching a footy game there, A. Really good. Very well built, good deck, great deck. Tiny pitch butt.
Yeah.
Really small ground.
And bloody hell, those Suns know how to play there.
They really know how to play there. But I would say the viewing experience as a fan, A tier. Because it really holds the atmosphere.
Yeah.
It's great. Oh my God. The way it's just, the facilities are amazing. The options are amazing. I guess the food stores, maybe there was a bit of a long wait time there, but like, getting the beers and getting back to the seats, it took like a minute.
100%. And there were so many options.
Yeah.
Like, if you were like, I need to get some food now, you would have gone to one of the places, that didn't have a line.
Yeah. Would you prefer watching a game there or Marvel?
I think there, like, as a general rule, I would enjoy the game more. The only thing is, I can't imagine... let me know if you're on the same page as me here. I can't imagine there being much magic there.
I know what you mean.
Like, I've been at Marvel and been like, oh my God. Like, this is amazing what's happening right now. I know, like, we watched our team lose slightly disappointingly. But, like, I just can't imagine... maybe it might have been a bit of, like... I was saying this off air to Ollie. Like, non-AFL state AFL crowds. Like, there's heaps of people there going for the Suns, but none of them are paying attention. Like,
true.
None of them are really engaged with the game. Like, they'll cheer when they score a goal. But, like... when someone does 1%er, as Ollie said, or like when a umpire call goes against the Suns, there wasn't like this big roar or anything. It was just like, oh, cool, we kicked a goal. That's good. Oh, the big sticks. That's 6 points, I think.
I felt like a lot of people around us were, 1, American, and 2, learning about the AFL. like half of the people within earshot.
The Americans were weird. I don't think they said a word the entire game.
Oh my God. True. Yeah. I just realized that.
They sat down and they didn't respond. Like, one of them was in an Essendon jersey and she'd just be like, fucking bloody Jack Caldwell kick an absolute screamer. And she'd just be like...
Yeah, they were really just
reaction.
motionless. And even that kid behind us, I think he was American as well.
Yeah, right, okay.
The Gold Coast fan that was learning about the AFL.
Yeah. But the 2 Gold Coast locals he was with, well, I have to assume they were, who also didn't know that much about the AFL. Yeah. They were good. They were just chatting the whole time.
They were good. The dad in front of us, I think he was pretty good.
Yeah.
I think he was a bit too emotionally involved at some points, especially the fact that he was with his kids. But he was at least, he was like, I don't want to say aggressive is the wrong word to use, but there was like, he was really letting it all out. And like, he was expanding his personality from outside it, like beyond his body. But he was also like, that probably shouldn't have been a free kick for us. If it shouldn't have been a free kick for us.
He was funny because he was very passionate and into it, but then, you know, I feel like he hadn't watched an Essendon game in a while.
True.
Like, you know, there was the great late management of Todd Goldstein that we were very happy about. He's like, I hope Goldie's all right. I'm like, yeah, man, like this is the best. This is the best case scenario for him right now.
Yeah, this is the best case scenario for the team as well.
Yeah.
A tier for the viewing experience at People's First Stadium.
All right, cool. 4x gold.
Oh my god, man! I was going in very biased. I didn't think it was going to be good. It was good. It was really good. B. A B tier beer. A completely fine beer. It's no Philly XPA. It's no Kirin Ichiban.
Right.
It's no other beer. And it's not like A, you know. If I'm saying Philly, am I really even saying Philly's as an A at this point? Kirin's probably also an A.
Not an S?
Well, I don't know if I have any S tier beers right now.
When we did a rookie tier list, the Philly XPA was
was
the highest thing you could get.
Yeah, but like it didn't take into consideration total enjoyment.
Yeah.
Generally,
Right,
not
I
just
understand.
as a beer.
I understand.
As a beer, it's at the top of the list.
Yeah. Okay. Right, things can be better than a beer.
Yeah.
Would you believe it?
Yeah, like having a beer with an NBA rookie. Next year, that should be A tier should be Philly XP or whatever the best beer is, and then S tier should be getting to have a beer with an NBA rookie.
All right, DC Rivals Hypercoaster.
Yeah, oh my god, man! So this is part of the movie world side of things. Roller coasters, man. Wait, hang on. How did you enjoy the roller coasters?
All right, I made a good self discovery, which I kind of knew deep down, which is like I knew I had a limit. I knew there was going to be a type of roller coaster I just didn't enjoy.
Yeah, and this is hang on for context. You've been on one roller coaster before this in your life. The
Mad Mouse at Luna Park.
At Luna
Melbourne,
Park, okay.
Luna Park St Kilda.
So then flash forward X amount of years.
Oh yeah, like fuck, what, 14?
Yep.
Like, a lot. And like, you know, the Green Lantern coaster could have gone on it all day.
Yeah.
First one I was like, oh my god, this is scary. You know, third one like, yeah, like I'm still getting the thrill, but like, you know, I'm fine. The fucking, what was it? The Flash Speed Force ride.
Yeah.
God, I loved that one.
It was fun.
Yeah. DC Rivals Hypercoaster, don't regret doing it, but one time was enough.
Okay, so really, I went on that I think 3 times.
You did, yeah.
Because Marco went to get lunch one of the times, I went to the line and there was a separate line for if you were riding alone. So I didn't have to wait the 20 minutes to 30 minutes. I just went straight to the front and just was allowed onto the next ride. Not as enjoyable when you're with by yourself. But I guess once the ride starts, you're not really thinking about anything happening around you. I've got to be honest. We didn't get a chance to go on the Superman Express. That was closed.
Yeah.
The Arkham Asylum is now changing to a Wizard of Oz themed roller coaster. And you know what? If that's an S tier, which it is, then I'm going to give the DC Rivals Hypercoaster an A tier.
Okay.
I thought it was very enjoyable. It was so long.
Wait, so which is your favorite then? The Superman or the Arkham?
The Arkham Asylum, which is now becoming the Wizard of Oz, which used to be the Lethal Weapon back in the day. That's probably what listeners will remember it as. Yeah, that's an S, like 100,000%. That's an S. So let's give the DC Rivals Hypercoaster an A.
Okay, good. The Justice League 3D The Ride.
Oh my god! I mean, what more can you say about this? I got pretty bored by the end of it. Let's go D tier.
Yeah, nice. Hollywood Stunt Driver 2. I'm you know, I don't want to influence you. I go pretty low for this one.
Yeah. Compared to what I have seen in the past for the Stunt Driver show, where they used to have like genuine explosions and fire and stuff. Let's go. I did enjoy myself.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do it again. Let's go D.
D tier. Okay, cool. Dirty Harry's.
This is of course the bar at Movie World where you could get, man, if anyone's sick of woke Melbourne, you can get a schooner at Movie World in either a glass at the bar or you can just get one to walk around the park with.
Yeah.
Let's go Dirty Harry's bar. $8 schooner at 4X. Let's go. Let's go C tier.
Okay, cool. Yeah, it was pretty unremarkable. Although, what did he say? Go ahead, make my taco.
Yes, of course. Dirty Harry's Taco Bar. Yeah, go ahead, make my taco.
What else have we got to rate? People on the Gold Coast.
Oh, you man, just everywhere between F and C tier.
That's funny.
We got okay. Give us a tier list. The influencer that we met on the tram.
Yeah.
What would you tier them?
She's pretty funny.
Yeah, she was.
Maybe. But like, I also just wanted the conversation to be over.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Points.
Yeah.
I have to go C tier.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Peach fur.
Oh, I go B for those guys.
Yeah, okay.
Like I could have spent the whole night with them.
Yeah,
like,
genuinely.
I would also then never see them again.
Yeah, I think you spend your whole night with under the understanding that you will never see them again.
Yeah.
So this influencer, she kind of just joined our conversation at one point, and then seemed to have something to say about everything.
Yeah, including my Honda Jazz import business idea.
Yeah. She said that it cost $10,000 to import 10 Honda Jazzes, because you just got to rent the shipping container.
Yeah.
Anyway, she seemed to have something to say about everything. Also a flex about everything.
Yeah.
She didn't crash her car. She crashed her Tesla. She was like name dropping all these other like people that have been on Love Island and Maths.
Yeah, Maths.
Yeah, and we just had no idea.
No
what she
idea.
was talking
No
about.
idea. And that's obviously like how you impress people on the Gold Coast.
Yeah.
Like, I was having a drink with fucking Joe Blow from Maths season 13 the other day.
Yeah. She was funny.
Yeah.
But I agree. It was pulling teeth at the end of it.
Didn't ask us a single question.
Not a single. Much like Peach Fur.
Yeah.
Didn't really get asked a question from those guys as well. But they were fun to talk to.
Yeah.
They were. We saw them when we went out for the liter of beer, and they just started talking to us, and they were funny as. And there was 6 of them total. It seemed like 3 partners.
I couldn't quite figure it out.
Yeah, neither.
Yeah.
Well, let's just say it was 3 groups of partners.
Yeah.
One of them were definitely together.
Yeah.
And yeah, they were just fun to talk to. Again, no questions, but the conversation was kind of going in both directions.
Yeah. They were just telling us about their life as rock musicians on the Gold Coast, how much money they get paid for a gig at I don't know. They kept saying venues, being like, we're playing blah blahs, we're playing Binkies on New Year's Eve. I'm like, oh, cool, man. And then it didn't take them. It took them half an hour to cotton on that we weren't from the Gold Coast.
Yeah. And they had the classic. As you said, one of 2 things. They'd be like, oh, where are you from? And I'm like, oh, Melbourne, Northgate. Northgate. Yeah. Fitzroy? And then you'd be like, yeah, man, Fitzroy. Yeah, sure. And Marco made the point, you're either not from Melbourne and you know about Fitzroy, or you're not from Melbourne and you know about St Kilda.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, they were in our boat.
All right, well, what about the Gold Coast overall?
Gold Coast overall.
Final grade.
Final grade. Man, I mean, in June, S. But like generally, let's say B. I think way too high density for the beauty that it holds. They just plonk so much shit in the middle of it. A lot of wasted and tacky establishments. I mean, a jersey that says Chicago on the front and on the back, and the number 23. Like, why are you selling that?
Yeah. The Lakers one that says Los Angeles on the front and the back.
Yeah. And, you know, even more insane, I saw someone wearing one. Great cafe. The coffee was good from the one place we got it from.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd say B.
Yeah. I'd have to agree with that. Like, exceeded expectations in terms of the whole place, but I was also like, I don't think I'd ever go there for anything except what we did.
Yeah.
Like, I go to another footy game there for sure. I'd probably go to the Worlds again.
100% I go to Movie World again.
But then, what if you just like, how much was our flight? 180 return?
Yeah.
Bloody get off the bus, get on the bus, go to that Palm Beach place right at the end. Like,
yeah, true.
Just go to the beach for 3 days. Don't fuck around with like surfers. and fly back.
Well, this is what I was going to ask you. If you were working remotely, would you live there in the winters?
No, not the Gold Coast.
That coast?
I think Queensland for sure.
Okay.
But like maybe Sunshine Coast.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a bit nicer.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's also Queensland.
Yeah. There is that intrinsic value it holds. Yeah, it was great. I think I would definitely do it again.
Okay. Nice. Actually, final ranking, the Essendon Football Club on Sunday.
Oh my god. How do I think they played?
Just everything, man.
Okay, well, just everything, man. I want to say B, because that's now the third bad game in a row. Fucking reality check.
Yeah.
If you're going to play bad footy against a team that's going to play good footy, you should lose. And I think that Richmond and North I just don't think they have the capacity to do a great job, but they did their best. Richmond did a good job, and I think they should have beaten us.
Yeah.
And I think it's...
No, but yeah, I know what you mean.
You know what I mean? Yeah. We weren't really putting forward a winning game of footy.
They played one of their best games of the season.
Yeah.
We played one of our worst games.
Yeah, and it was more like, how can we, let's not lose rather than let's try and win. And then Gold Coast played a good game. I think they played a really good game. And we played a bad game, and it was like, okay, look what happens. You're going to lose a game.
Yeah, I don't think we played bad. I think it was just like, for like a team that's probably as good as us, has a good list, that is developing at a similar rate to us, blah, 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 played better than us and won the game.
Yeah.
We didn't win just because we're more advanced at the moment than the club we're playing.
Yeah.
I think that's the reality check we needed.
Yeah, definitely. Also good that Goldie wasn't playing. Nice that he's going to get a 2-week rest before what I'm deeming should be our Super Bowl against Carlton this Sunday. It also didn't really seem like the boys were expending themselves. They didn't really leave it all out
This
there.
bloody virus has been going through the club, mate.
God. But hopefully this poises us well to give Carlton our best.
Yeah, I really hope so. I think we need to change some stuff. Paris is going to be out for 5 to 6 weeks now.
No shit.
Potentially, Redmond for 2 weeks as well.
Oh yeah.
But I think we just need to bring any other midfielders we have left in our list into the side.
Yeah.
Because we're just getting killed around the ball.
Yeah.
And we were so good at it for the first half of the season.
Yeah. Coming up against Carlton's forward line as well. Redmond being out's a bit of a bigger loss than it would have been in the previous weeks.
I guess, the Mackays are just going to... They might actually just knock heads against each other and be concussed,
Man, I didn't realize how much taller Harry was.
He
has 3 or 4 inches on him.
Harry's taller.
Harry's taller, yeah.
The one we don't have.
The one we don't have. I was watching their interview today. Don't recommend that for anyone. So dumb.
Wait, I thought you were on side with them.
No, I don't mind them when they're... I was watching some of their podcast clips the other day, and it's fine.
Yeah.
But in the interview, it was just like, what is this? As you said, when the AFL's trying to drum up some personality.
Are you sure about that, man? I think Ben's an inch taller.
No way. Well, when they're standing side by side,
Harry's 2 meters
flat.
2 meters flat. 2 meters square, and Ben's 2.02.
If you look at this, wait.
See, and then bloody Ben looks taller there.
Yeah, Ben looks taller there. If you look at their interview from today, Ben is 3 or 4 inches shorter.
Right.
But that'll come up in its own time.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you'd like to talk about on the Gold Coast?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Good food.
The cuisine. Okay, great Japanese place. I got some really nice nigiri. You got a nice sashimi bowl.
Yeah. Just tuna and salmon.
Nepalese place. We got a bit of everything.
Momos, fried rice.
Yeah.
Chicken. What type of chicken do we get?
Oh.
What's the word for it?
Oh, chili masala.
Yeah. Chicken masala. Chicken masala.
Chili chicken. The taco place in Palm Beach.
Yep. Costa Taco.
Yeah. Did we go to anywhere else that was the ramen place?
Yep. Ramen
Would
place
you like
is
to
good.
rank those 4 places?
Oh, okay. Amimoto first.
Yeah.
I think maybe Costa Taco second.
Yeah.
Then probably Nepalese and then ramen.
Yeah.
Just like the ramen was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And
Japan,
Fat Boy's Pizza right at the top.
Japan at the top and the bottom. Oh, and now the Fat Boys Pizza's at the top. Yeah, I think that's a pretty fair assessment. Great food though overall.
Yeah.
Like, really enjoyed everything.
100%.
Okay, well, that nips that in the bud. Gold Coast 2026. I reckon I'll be there for the Gold Coast Bombers
nice.
game. I think that I would highly recommend people go. It's fucking so much fun. If your footy team's playing an away game there, and you're from Melbourne, definitely go. Make a weekend of it. It's really fun.
The NBA moves so quickly these days, it's hard to keep up. Shams and Woj are breaking stories left and right, but the Quick Time Out is right there with them to keep you informed on the latest NBA news. Stop in and let us break it down as it happens. Find the Quick Time Out on the Deep 2 Podcast Network.
You want to talk WNBA? Maybe some WNBL? Australian Opals chat? Heck, even dabble in some EuroLeague? Find the W Basketball Show on the Deep 2 Podcast Network. But now, Marco, we're in the it's the NBA Finals.
Already.
It's actually like the next game of the NBA is the Finals.
I actually feel like yesterday I was like, there's too many playoff games. I can't pay attention to all of them.
Yeah.
I'm like, there's only going to be 4 more.
Yeah. hopefully in favor of the Celtics.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
I'm looking at the vision now. Harry looks a lot taller.
He's so much taller.
Yeah, but maybe Ben's slouching to make him feel better. Oh, you know what they did?
You can't slouch.
You know
that
what they
much.
did? They changed clothes.
You reckon?
No, I can actually tell the difference when I see them like that.
Because of the beard?
Nah, the nose.
Well, it's the same on both of
Harry,
them.
Harry's is a bit more upturned, I reckon.
Right.
Yeah, maybe Ben's been punched in the schnoz a few more times.
True.
Yeah. But the NBA Finals, Lucas, which are just around the corner.
So you worked 12 days in a row, then you went to the Gold Coast, which rendered you kind of on the periphery of watching an NBA game for about 16 days.
And I think, like, literally, I somehow watched 2 Indiana-Boston games, which is so unnecessary.
Yeah, that's overkill. But we're now here. I don't think anyone would have picked Mavs Celtics at the start of the playoffs. I was listening to a Foreman Weave we had. It would have probably been, the most recent one. I think we recorded this at Wolves 2-0 against the Nuggets. And I was hot on the Wolves winning the ring before that series. I felt like I was like puffing my chest out when they were up 2-0.
Yeah.
I was really confident about that. No mention of the Mavericks in that episode. I don't think we even talked about their series. I'm not even joking. So poor podcasting on our part. Sean really wanted to shoehorn the OKC Thunder in there. And the rest of us were like, fuck yeah, the OKC, how cool. Look at how cool they are. Look at how like revolutionary they are. And they're like, dude, Dagnall, forget about it.
Yeah.
And then everyone was like, Celtics cakewalk to the finals. Ended up being the case. But the Mavs are here and they've been looking better and better every single series. It actually seems like they're elevating their play per series. First 2 rounds, won in 6 games. Third round, won in 5. Didn't think the Mavericks were allowed to finish a playoff series in 5 games. Or anything but 6 games, whether it's a win or a loss. But Marco, here they are. They're coming up against the Celtics. How do you feel about it? Maybe no Porzingis. Mavs are pretty much fully healthy. What are your thoughts and feelings and emotions?
Yeah, I felt equally as ascendant on the Mavs as the Mavs have been ascendant, if you will. I feel like round 1, I was like, how can Derrick Jones Jr. be a starter on this team? Like they so obviously have to figure something else out here. You know, like that just can't be the team you take to the finals. Now I think he might be like he's had one of the best role player runs in this finals.
Yeah.
You know, and I just obviously on a very hot 3-point shooting streak, which, you know, might not be like career long sort of sustainable. Been such a good defender, just like a quiet, good one-on-one lockdown perimeter defender. Just caught some absolutely ridiculous lobs. But yeah, I think it's just been representative of the buy-in from everyone on the Mavs. Like Gavin Lively just know exactly what they have to do every night. PJ Washington knows exactly what he has to do every night. And then, like Luka and Kyrie, I feel like are made for... They're both such moments players.
Yeah.
Like, and Kyrie I feel like he hasn't actually had an opportunity to have a moment for a long, long, long time. Like, maybe first year in Boston?
I don't remember him having... I actually don't remember him having any good postseason success with Boston.
Didn't he have that one good playoff run and then he got injured? But it was like he was just dragging them through games.
But that was the thing. It was like he was the only reason they were being dragged through games.
Yeah.
Like the rest of the team was like, we're great. Like use us.
Yeah, right.
And then Scary Terry. That was the emergence of Scary Terry. And they were just like, the team enjoyed playing with Terry Rozier more than they enjoyed playing with Kyrie, which speaks volumes. And most of that team is still together.
Yeah. Well, but now he's got a team that loves playing with him, and they're probably going to be better than the team in the finals that he used to play with.
Kyrie.
Yeah.
Oh, the Celtics.
Wait, who? Yeah, Kyrie. No. What I mean is maybe they were the issue all along.
Oh my God, let's find out. Yeah, sorry, go on.
No, that was the crux of it.
That was the crux of it.
Yeah, like. I feel really good about the Mavs. I think just because of the ascendancy, whereas like the Celtics just haven't had a challenge this playoffs. But I feel like that is also not a reason to discount them because it's like they were just so clearly the best team in the competition all year long. Like I really, they haven't missed a beat apart from two. Like they lost 2 weird games in the first and second rounds and then swept the conference finals.
Yeah.
Like, there haven't been any like red flags, but it's also like they haven't done anything. Like they haven't had to put any good performances in.
Yeah, they haven't really but they also haven't like shown any weaknesses or vulnerabilities. I don't think. I think good point about Derek Jones Jr. I think this team is now, or this rotation in Dallas is finally complimentary of Luka, and I think he's the type of person you throw all the rules out about roster building and you just make everyone fit around him and you don't tell him to change anything about himself. You bring in the secondary scorer who's like an occasions guy. And then, great lob finishes and good, like serviceable 3-point shooters. At least 3-point shooters you don't want to keep open. And then, that's the other thing about Derek Jones Jr. He's both of those things. Like he's a lob finisher, especially in fast breaks where he'll just bolt ahead of the play, and then Luka will throw the ball from the backcourt. Yeah. And then his 3-point shooting has been great. He's defensively he's been good. He's been a really good competitor as well. And they got so much size and they use it really well. Johnny made this point. He texted me and he said, there's got to be someone they can bring in to fill in Dante Exum's minutes like tomorrow. Right. They could do a better job than Dante Exum.
Not Jaden Hardy?
Jaden Hardy, I prefer him, but I feel like the Exum minutes have to go elsewhere. Right. They might have actually been eradicated by the end of the final.
I think Hardy was taking his minutes.
Bro,
doing a
good job. I recall Exum playing in the conference finals.
Yeah, he definitely played.
I'm not going to look it up right now. But I think that the Mavs maybe shrink their rotation by 1 or 2 players going into the finals. But I think the main thing for me is I don't think Luka and Kyrie are going to shit themselves and make the least out of a situation. But I don't think Tatum will make the most out of a situation. Yeah. And I think Brown and Tatum... I like the closers on Boston, you're going to be like, oh, it's bloody crazy you're saying this. But like, it's going to end up... The ball's going to end up being in like Derek White's hands and Drew Holiday's hands. They're going to be the ones that take on those moments in close games, which is not what we should be saying, but it's what's going to happen. Like, tune into game 1, 2, 3, 4, however many games there are in the series. Tatum and Brown are going to be playing hot potato like they do in late game situations. And I just don't think Luka and Kyrie and the Mavs and kids coaching, I don't think they're going to go away. And I don't think that it's going to be... Like, I can't see them getting buried, Especially on a stage like this. Like, especially Luka and Kyrie, they'll just will their team to within 10 points. And then by that point, then it's a late game situation. Then it becomes a different, if it turns into clutch time, that becomes a completely different basketball game than the first 43 minutes of the game. But I would pick the Celtics going in. Like, it'd be crazy not to pick them. But like who isn't rooting for the Mavs in this?
Yeah. yeah, like any late game situation just feels like it'll be in favor of the Mavs, like whatever the situation is, like if it's Boston coming from behind or if it's the Mavs coming from behind. But like, yeah, Boston can bury anyone. Like,
Yeah.
if they hit enough threes in the first quarter of a game, like it's over. Like,
Yeah.
there's just, the route back is so hard because they can just, I feel like, yes, maybe they're not good at like, getting on runs and clawing themselves back into a game, but they can stop a team from doing that to them, like there's enough stability. And yeah, I mean, Tatum has still just had like unimpressive playoffs. Brown has been a lot better. I feel like Brown has performed a couple of times. And like, I don't know, Derek White could just be the 5th best player in the series as well. Like very, very easily. Actually, he almost definitely might be.
He almost definitely might be.
Yeah. He almost definitely is if Porzingis doesn't play, even if Porzingis does play. And like, you're saying it's like, oh, the ball's gonna be in his hands or Drew's hands, but like, it's not bad when it's in Derek White's hands. Like, you get some pretty good results from that.
Yeah, definitely. You said that the Celtics can put anyone away. They didn't put the Pacers away in 3 of those 4 games.
Yeah.
The Pacers with down a Tyrese Halliburton. And they nearly lost the first game.
That game was stupid.
Yeah,
that was so stupid.
But like, I mean, if they're not putting away the Pacers consistently, then you like they're gonna
but
the jump to the Mavs is crazy.
Nah, but like they also did put the Pacers away in some of those games. Like they ended close, but they didn't lose the lead in at least one of those games.
Yeah,
like and also but this is the thing, right? This is the difficulty with the Celtics. They haven't done all this stuff in the playoffs that it's like, well, they should have done it, and also they probably will.
Yeah.
Like, now that they're coming up against their first real opposition. Like, there's so much that we've seen this team do in the regular season, and even in previous postseasons, that like they just haven't done in this postseason.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's like, oh well, you go through 3 series and you don't get challenged, and then you get challenged and you like completely shit your pants. It'll be a bit more complicated than that.
Yeah. What would be your tip for this series, and in how many games? We can come back to it in a second if you need a moment to think.
I'd probably
about
say Boston in 7.
Oh, I was going to say the same thing.
Yeah.
That's what my brain is telling me.
But then also like, can Boston win a game 7 in the NBA Finals?
It's yet to be proven. I think that's the logical side of my brain is telling me that. But like my heart is just telling me Mavs in 6. It's the only way they know how to close out a series. My pick is Celtics in 7.
Yeah. If they go into Dallas, if Dallas go into game 6 3-2 up, it's over.
Yeah. You may as well fucking wheel out the champagne from the start of the game.
Yeah.
I'm really also hoping for 7 games. I don't mind. I feel like the finals is 1 game, 1 day on, 2 days off, 1 day on, 2 days off. I don't mind that. It makes it more of a show, more of a spectacle.
More time to digest.
Yeah, more time to digest.
Like, we didn't digest the, say, Denver-Minnesota series enough.
Yeah.
We were so reactive to it.
Yeah. And I feel like you could do this. I was listening to Thinking Basketball on the way over here, and they mentioned it, but like the conference finals, you could do this rhythm as well. Like 1 day on, 2 days off, and then alternate the nights.
Right.
So it's game off, game off,
Yeah.
game off. I think like why rush this? You're only adding a week probably if like what I'm saying is the case.
Yeah. I don't know. Money, Adam Silver.
What money? It's the same amount of games.
Well, think about it this way: people will pay attention to the WNBA for less time, the longer the NBA playoffs are on. That's definitely not what Adam Silver's thinking when he's scheduling. But that's my thought.
Okay, all right. Well,
remember people like know basketball, and it's like WNBA just started. Like,
true. I guess that is a
Yeah.
What's it called? A positive byproduct.
Yeah.
Okay, so Celtics in 7. We're both saying that.
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't feel great about it though.
No, but I am also just getting caught up in the inertia of Dallas
Yeah.
so much.
Yeah.
Because there's no inertia to be caught up in
Yeah.
for Boston.
True. They don't really move you around like that.
Yeah.
Man, I can't believe we didn't even mention the Mavericks on that podcast like a month ago, and here they are in the finals. It's so good. It's so good that Luka finally made the final. Finally, he's 24.
Yeah.
So good that Luka made the finals. So good that JVG alumni Daniel Gafford is in the
I
finals.
was about to bring him up.
Oh yeah, what would you like to say about our boy?
Fucking congrats, Gaff.
Yeah,
That's
I know.
awesome. What, like 4 months from Washington to the bloody, what's it called? The Larry Johnson?
Yeah.
The Larry O'Brien.
Yeah. Nailed it.
That's so good. And yeah, you know, dozens and dozens and dozens of great deserving role plays in the league, but he's the one we've always held the torch for, and he's the one that's going to be in the NBA Finals later this week.
How good would that be? The photo of him with a ring.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh, with the trophy. That would be so fucking sick.
Yeah.
And PJ Washington as well, just coming from another, probably a worse situation
Yeah.
than Washington over the last 5 years. Also, Derek Lively. What a guy. Mum passed away, I think, a month before the playoffs started. He was 19. Like, he was a teenager up until a couple of weeks ago, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
And such a crucial part of this team's success. I think Mavericks Wolves, one of the interesting things from that series is that you have these like two bigs on Minnesota's side that have like what, $80 to $90 million worth of contracts per year between them. And then on the Mavs side, I think it's about 15 mil in their two bigs in Lively and Gafford. And Lively and Gafford just showed them exactly how to defend the ring. They showed them how to defend the pick and roll. I guess Mavericks schematically, like overall, probably had a better, were more prepared for defending a pick and roll. But it was just it was just amazing to see these like two younger, less known guys just like completely owning the battle of the bigs, let's call it.
Yeah. And I think there'll be so much talk after these finals about like the construction of this roster. But like, I think such a two-sided good job on drafting Lively, being like, all right, we've got a high pick because we were terrible last year. Like, let's just go absolute fit, like the absolutely best fitting player on the board. And then from Lively's side, being like, all right, I'm getting drafted to the Mavericks who are gonna want to contend, so they're gonna give me like a very distinct role.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna be developing my offensive game. I'm not gonna be, I'm not gonna be showing off in the post or anything like that. I'm just gonna be doing what they tell me. And completely buying into that. Like, imagine if you'd been drafted to Charlotte or something, and it'd be like, oh fuck, you got to have 3 Lively post-ups a game just to like,
keep him happy.
Yeah. Or not even to keep him happy, because it's like, oh, we want to see like what his peak is or whatever. But yeah, like very impressive. Obviously, you do it when you get drafted to a team like that, but it's impressive nonetheless to just completely buy into the system like that.
So they reckon Kristaps Porzingis will be ready in time for the start of the NBA Finals.
I reckon.
You reckon?
Yeah. He might not be ready.
Do you reckon that changes everything? Like, if he doesn't play, do you reckon that means the Mavericks like go in favorites, or do you reckon he's that what's it called? Momentous?
He's been really good this season, but again, I don't know. Again, we haven't seen how he swings a playoff series.
Yeah,
like,
true.
We don't know if how he's played with the Celtics is going to translate to, to sort of postseason situations. And yeah, again, like, especially like what you're saying, kind of how the Mavs centers just played at a completely different, like a completely different playing field to the Minnesota centers, the same thing could happen with Porzingis. Where it's like, oh, well, our centers are just here to defend you and defend the rim and, do this in a pick and roll. Whereas you're worrying about, what you're doing on offense. You're worrying about like, help and everything, blah, 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 blah. Like, do you just have too much to worry about as Kristaps Porzingis in this series? True. I'm not saying that like he's gonna get played off the floor or anything. Like, I'm sure it'll be great, but yeah, I don't know if it's as big as a swing as you might think it would be.
Okay.
Yeah.
It'll be such a good finals. I was just playing through like the matchups. Like it'll be such a good finals. I think it'll be so well coached as well. I think the Celtics are gonna win. The more I think about it, it's like I just don't think anyone has the personnel to like the Mavs specifically. Like what you probably put Luka on Drew because he looks for his shot the least. Then do you put Kyrie on Derek White, and then Derrick Jones Jr. on Jason Tatum, and then PJ Washington on Jaylen Brown. I don't hate all that, but then like Lively or Gaff on Porzingis, they just become useless as rim protectors because you have to stay out on him, or you just live with him shooting 4 of 8 from 3 or something. And key in on 6'10" Tatum having an open lane. Oh man, it might be the year we have to just nut up and deal with the Celtics winning.
It had to happen. Like, it actually had to happen with this iteration, not like this year, but like
this core.
Since Ime Udoka moved Robert Williams to the 4, they were gonna win a championship.
Yeah, true.
It was gonna happen.
It was the championship move.
Yeah, and that's like again, I'm not gonna shit on Joe Mazzulla, but like, if they win the championship this year, he just happened to be head coach in the year that they got it done.
Okay, I'm with that.
Yeah.
I'm happy to co-op that. Yeah. All right, Mark, do you have anything else to add here?
No, it sounds pretty good. That's a good short 50 minutes there. So.
A good short 50 minutes. I guess we'll see you around the bloody Deep 2 landscape, listener.
Yeah.
Are you going on this Thursday?
I think you're going on.
Oh shit!
Should we get the calendar up?
I think Yorgo. Hey, that's my dad's name. Inon. We should get the calendar.
Nope, hasn't been filled out.
Hasn't been filled out. I think
someone's not doing their job.
We should potentially do a foreman. Maybe we should talk about this off air.
We could do one on Monday after the game.
Yeah, that too. I was thinking that as well.
Yeah.
Oh, also, maybe I can leak this, but like, keep your eyes peeled for a new podcast style ahead of the 2024 Olympics. Maybe we should just leave it at that.
Yeah, that's a huge leak.
Huge leak. All right. Goodbye.
Speak to you next time.